Can y'all see my screen? Am I sharing my screen?
Oh, you shared the screen, but it's only a picture view.
That's what I want you to see. Don't I
Yeah.
look good?
Yeah, you share your screen then.
Let's try. Let's see why my screen not sharing here. All right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right. Are you seeing me or my disclaimer?
Disclaimer.
Awesome. All right. So let's get our disclaimer out the way so we can get going. And our disclaimer is that trading and investing carries a high level of risk. You could lose some or all of your investment. Trading commodities or any other financial instrument may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. We accept no liability for any losses or damages you may incur. This means that you alone are responsible for your actions in any trading or investment activities. And that's our disclaimer. Oh, Johnny B.
Yes, sir.
If it's all right, man, I would love just to recap and just get some feedback, get some testimonies, feedback of how the experience of the first Travel and Trade workshop retreat went, and just to check the pulse. Let's get the energy from the event, man, and start the call that way. All right with you?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you for letting me be part of the decision making.
Absolutely, man. So with that being said, I just want to start out by saying, what happened this weekend, I had no idea how it was going to turn out, but I did. I did have the faith that it was going to work out. Everything was going to be good. But to what extent, it was way beyond what I expected. From everything, not just the actual presentation of the retreat, but seeing all the bonding that took place, all the relationships that were formed, on top of everybody having aha moments and getting that understanding, Johnny B, that we've been trying to bring across. Seeing so many people saying and having moments where they saying things started to click and make sense. That was real powerful, man. And just seeing that, I think having a retreat was probably the best decision that could have been made when I was trying to figure out where and when and how, but not really, 100% sure about it because I had never did one before. So just wanted to make sure I got my feet wet, wet as well. So it was me learning at the same time how to do an event, a function of that caliber. So, man, I had my moments, but I would love to hear from those who came out to the event, and I'm sure others would like to hear it too. But I wanted to make sure we had a call for those who wanted to come that wanted to know how everything went. I tried to do a Facebook Live, while we were on Zoom at the same time, and I found out that I needed to have more than one device because the audio was going to the Zoom, and everybody who was on Facebook was watching it, but they had no audio. So I learned something new.
There's a little delay too on the Facebook side.
Oh, yeah. So that was I get it now. So, but yeah, if there's anybody, without me having to just call names, if anybody want to say a few words, share anything about their experience this weekend, I would love for you to unmute and share with everybody, your feelings and your experience. Anybody?
Hello.
Come on, John. Yeah,
Hi,
I was going to say, if nobody was going to talk, I was going to suggest that you call. Did you spend the $50 yet?
No, I haven't did that.
Well, for coming the longest, right?
Yes. One thing I can say, the experience is, it's another whole level when you come to an event and you actually sit in front of Delvin and he actually teaches it extremely at a great pace. And he talks in the rules and he actually pretty much does the top 1, 2, 3, the bottom 1, 2, 3, the sideways channel, how he explains it. And then we're sitting there looking at the chart and it's like, you can see the formations within the sideways channel. Once you start looking at the chart and start doing things, it's like speechless. It really woke my wife up as well, both of us coming out here. So this is, to me, in reference to everyone, sitting on a call every Sunday night is no comparison to actually being live and to be right beside Delvin and you can ask him Q&A questions and he can actually answer them and you can take those notes and he can assist you. So to me, I would say to everyone, it's a life-changing event. And I know in my heart, I'm going back for the next 30 days doing paper trading and then we are going live. My wife and I, to start doing this because it was just an eye-opener to see it. And as well, Johnny, when you came on the call, you had some good examples in reference to explaining how you, told us. So again, it's speechless. And I thank Delvin so much for putting this together. So it's a life-changing event for my wife and I. So we are excited and we are looking forward to the next event. We will be Testimonies.
Can I say something? I don't believe in commodities before I came. I listen John every Sunday and I was in the room in the kitchen, but I was listening and say, oh my God, this is too difficult for me because I don't understand nothing. Maybe that's the same mentality that a lot of people has because they don't learn the skill set. But something happened yesterday. My first time listening, delving with my 1,000 attention. And I love it now. I say, John, we go ahead. Now we can go ahead. Look how much information I can get in only one day.
Man, I think I talk too much.
Those are the formations in detail.
Wow.
I love it now.
Oh my goodness. And Rosa, you came with no intentions of getting involved, right? You just wanted to be here for John.
Nothing at all. I just came to support him.
That's it. And meeting everybody, making new friends, and then I see you at one point you got up off the sofa and came and sat on the floor, got closer to me as I was presenting. I was like, okay, she came a little closer. You was really into your notes.
Uh-huh. I was taking note the whole day.
Awesome.
I'm passionate now. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is your first time in Arizona?
Yes. Very pretty. Guys, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
I never imagined it's very pretty.
And one thing was nice, we can tell everybody, Delvin only gave us a piece of the pie. This was a one-day event. Can you imagine a 2-day event? And Delvin does a 2-day event explaining the futures one day and just drilling options the next. Just imagine. So, hey, we're excited. We're gonna, get rolling with futures commodities. And then, hey, we're looking forward to the next event of some intense training with options as well.
You know something that also I like it? I met people from different states. So the connection was so good. We talk a lot every night. We have fun. One night we went to bowling.
Yeah.
It was so good. Became people from Pennsylvania,
Yeah. Alabama,
Alabama, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Nevada, Virginia, and Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to thank you both for coming on and sharing your experience. And just let you know, it was wonderful having you guys here. I've known John for several years. We met on the cruise and, met you over the phone, but finally got a chance to meet you in person and spent some time together. And it felt so personal and intimate having y'all here staying at the house where we were able to just spend all this quality time together. So thank y'all for making the trip, man. And congratulations to you, John, being the person that traveled the farthest to get out here. That shows your commitment and how serious you are about what we're doing with this trade, man.
Amen. Amen. Yes. Thank you again. We appreciate everything. Your wisdom and you just what is it? Just humble, man. Humble guy, man. Looking to change the world and help the world. So hey, we thank you.
Appreciate that. And anybody else would like to share any takeaways or your experience?
You're muted.
We can't hear you, Tanya.
There we go. Hi, Delvin. I just want to say that everything you said had so much wisdom. Like I wrote a ton of notes, just like Rosa. I feel like I can just look at charts and just read them. I can see the formations, and I feel like that's a skill and I will be able to take and create my business for the rest of my life. And I am so thrilled. I feel really confident about commodities. You went from the very beginning, from the 1700s. You laid out all the rules. So as you were laying out each rule, as we went through 1, 2, 3 at a time, I felt more secure in becoming a commodity speculator, because you were able to get the structure, the foundation, the ceiling, the resistance. I was like, I got this little success, what would you call it, system of how to be successful and how to bring patience and discipline, and the rules are just phenomenal. So I just want to say thank you so much.
How to read the charts.
And how to read the charts. I'm walking away. I have no doubt I can read a chart. And that's huge. So I just want to say thank you. I learned everything in one day. I've been a lurker. That's what they call, I just always pay attention and listen and everything. But yesterday I learned everything about commodities, and I'm so grateful. Thank you.
But Tanya, I want to say, we had some time today. You wanted to pull me to the side, sit down, and get through one-on-one, have some Q&A, personal training, and just go over some charts today. And seeing you be able to identify the formations that we watch on the chart, and you are just starting out with this.
Yesterday was day one.
And you sat down and showed me multiple charts today, and pointed out the formations exactly. Even told me where you would enter the market at correctly. I was like, "You sure you just started this yesterday?" So it was amazing seeing that today. Thank you for, pulling me to the side.
I listened to you. I listened to every sentence you spoke yesterday, and I wrote it down. I listened, and then and I'm filled with joy because I can read charts. So I can't wait to learn more. I can't wait to do the next class, the next retreat, the next level 2, wherever we're going. I'm going to go with you.
Me too.
Well, thank
It was
you
fantastic.
again. Thank you again. Because I've already shared with everyone. You were the first one to start getting on me about teaching this. That's several years ago when we met in a company that we were part of. You was on me, and I was running from it, man. So it's been a blessing for me as well, not just the people who are learning the information. So you don't know, that was the beginning of this. So I appreciate you, Tanya.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. And you're natural at it, very unnatural. You over deliver, it's more value than you could ever imagine. And we had fun. And we created relationships, and it's so exciting. I'm glad to be a part of it. So thank you so much. And I just want to say that also to Johnny B, this is my first time I think met him, and that explanation about the Southwest Airlines, that was golden. So thank you. It kind of clicked.
Yes.
I guess you were able to relate to that for being that. What do you do for a living?
I'm a flight attendant for United Airlines. This is my other job. I was looking for something that I could do that was on my own time and my own business. And this is it. I'm just thrilled. So I could relate to the Southwest example for sure. Now I understand commodities and futures very much. I understand. Buying gas for the future, right? Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh man, y'all ain't gonna get me emotional. I'm gonna control my emotions.
Control your
rules,
emotions, Delvin, and get ready to start the level 2 training.
That's right, Sean.
We can't wait a whole year for another training.
I've been told too many times. What was you talking about, a year? I get it. We won't wait another year. I don't know. I just thought maybe we could wait another year, but everybody was about to take my head off. We're not going, So yeah, it'll be definitely, it won't be that long. We'll have another one not too long from now. But Sean, would you like to share anything, Sean?
Yeah, this weekend it was absolutely amazing. From the minute that I walked in the door, the camaraderie, the rapport, relationship building, that with everyone there, everybody being on the same accord, your level of wisdom was just awesome. And the way that you were able to teach us was amazing. Everybody got it, and I saw more than just my aha moment. But it was from the Yukon, and I agree with Tanya, with Johnny B, with the Southwest thing. Everything just clicked and it just flowed. And who is it? I know I've heard TDJ say this: when preparation and opportunity meet, success is inevitable. And I think that even the preparation through the Zoom calls and your leadership, success is inevitable. All we have to do is follow you, your levels of experience, your wisdom, everything. It was great. Learning how to read the charts. I'd be on a Zoom call and I would see them and I was like, okay, yeah, that's a chart. But like Tanya Rose and John said, to be able to be in the room and to interact and to actually see it and almost just physically put your hands on the TV to see, oh my God, I see the formation, so that I can't even explain that in words, the experience that was. And I'm ready, I'm ready to do this full force. And I'm also ready for another training. Like, we want more, Delvin. So don't procrastinate and put it off. But thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hey, I want to just say to you though, because I think it's important that people need to know that, Sean, I remember the day when you joined the group, uh, and if my memory is right, it hasn't been but about 3-4 weeks at the most since you
Yep.
joined the group, and you just joined the group, and you getting on a plane coming all the way to Arizona. Now, if that don't show somebody who's serious about this, I don't know what does. You know, a new person in the group, new to trading, had never traded before, don't know anything about trade. And she said, I'm doing this, I want to do this. Every time I post a chart in the room about what I was looking at, my phone ring. Every time. Somebody called me, Devin, what we doing? That what you getting ready to do? That what we doing? Do I need to be getting ready? So I knew you was ready before you came to Arizona, but just watching you, listening and writing your notes, and I even heard you a couple of times say, "Oh, I just had an aha moment." I heard you say it. I just had to keep on in my flow of what I was doing, but I heard you a couple of times talking to you, say it out loud. Wow, I just had an aha moment, and I just wanted everybody to know this woman just joined this group, and she was here in person, and she got it. She was saying at first, I don't really get it yet, Devin. I don't understand it, but I'm coming to this training because I want to learn this. And I saw yesterday that you really got it. I saw that, Sean. So thank you for coming out. It's been fun getting to know you, spend time together. And most importantly, I think the friends that you made an impression on a lot of people, because I've had a chance to talk to everybody, mostly everybody that's been here, and they speak really highly of you. So the impression you made on the people, not me. You may not even know what you did, but you made a huge impact on the people that you met here at this event.
Well, they made an impact on me first, because I was like, I remember calling, telling my mom, I was like, this is just the most awesome group of people. And you just know when something works, or when it's divine. I think it's divine. I think everybody that was in the room, it was just a divine connection. It was peaceful. So that's how you know when something that God is in it. That's how you know.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome. Thank y'all, everybody. You too, Johnny B.
All right. All right. Who next? Anybody was here this weekend that got a takeaway or experience they want to share with us?
Let me go ahead and speak before you go name calling.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. I just want to say that experience was phenomenal. I took the second class that you taught on the Zoom, and I was like, okay, I took the class and everything, I have a whole lot of notes, but nothing really stuck. Other than when we started talking money, you and I one day, and you were surprised that I had the answers to when you was talking about ticks and I can't remember the other thing, but we were talking in point, yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah, I know the answer to that. But don't throw a what is a 1, 2, 3 formation up or down on me, and I'm not gonna be able to give you a definition. But when we had this retreat this weekend, everything just started to really click. it's so much better in person. Like everybody, have different ways of learning. You can talk all day and listen all day, but seeing that chart up close and personal actually made an impact on me. And it made me believe that I can really do this. Like I can really simplify it in person. On the screen, it looks really scary. But when you're there to, kind of click around and look at yourself, it made sense. And as Sean and as Rosa and as Tanya spoke, the room, the people, everybody had that connection. Like we all met day one, like we knew each other, from forever. And we just see each other on the screen. Well, I hadn't even met Sean until this past weekend because I wasn't in the class prior to, her starting. But it was just an amazing event, just a group of people. And I'm glad to be a part of number one. And I can't wait for number two, number three, number four. I know it's going to keep growing. So, and Johnny B, I got to tell Johnny B. So everybody talking about the Southwest example, but my example, my part that Johnny B really took the cake for me was when he came in and said, he was the broker. He came in right on cue, like y'all had rehearsed that he was the broker amongst y'allself, and he was just like right on point with that, and it made everything kind of come together when we was all like, what in the world, okay, what are we talking about? And Johnny B came right on in with the broker example, being the broker, and it was funny, hilarious, because Don thought that Johnny B was actually the broker for real. He didn't realize it was like a role play part that wasn't rehearsed, and it was like we laughed about, it's a serious moment, but we have had moments where we actually was like laughing and having fun through the moment of learning, which made it great for me. And I'm gonna end right there. Thank you.
And it's my turn.
No, it's not, because Vanessa hasn't said anything.
Vanessa, no, I got a few words to say first. So, thank you. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that broker thing. Johnny killed that, man. He came in and explained it, and it made so much more sense to everybody. When we were sitting here talking about, my position in the market, and if I didn't have enough in the account, and I went below the maintenance, and talking about it was one thing, but Johnny B calling, explaining how that experience would be if I was below the maintenance and I was in a position where I went below the maintenance, how that would look and work, how it would work. That was picture perfect. But I gotta talk about this lady who just got through talking for a minute. You may hear me, if you're around all the time or anytime, you'll hear me saying sis this and sis that, because since we met, she's been a sister to me. All right. And I do have a sister, a blood sister, but Londa may not be my blood sister, but blood won't make us any closer. She's somebody who I bonded and connected with. We traveled all over the world together on several trips. And she knows me, like there's a few people that know me and know me real well. And Londa is one of those people. But the way she came through for me is what I want to talk about for me. The way she came through for me, the way she was there for me for this retreat, and was there for all of us, for everybody, for this retreat. Out of the kindness of her heart. Like, it ain't like she came and said, hey, Devin, I can help you with this retreat, but here's my fee. Here's what it's gonna cost. It was all out of love. And I was trying to hold back my emotions and control my emotions, but seeing this thing just flow and work the way it worked, and everything went as smooth as it went, and I can't take any credit for it. I can't have everybody talking about how good their treat went and giving me the credit, because it wasn't me. I did the presentation, but that was a small part of what y'all experienced this weekend. And she had the main role in it. And you heard her say, Vanessa, her wife Vanessa had just as much role as she did. But if it wasn't for those two, this retreat we experienced this weekend wouldn't have went the way it went, because they took so much off of me. And then not only did they take so much off of me, they had experience in areas where I was weak at, where I didn't know what to do or how to do that. They knew what to do and how to do it. So this thing came through and worked like you went to a corporate event in a company you went to. Everything flowed just how it was supposed to flow. Everything was right from the presentation of how everything was decorated, from the food, all of the, not just the cooking and the games, the participation, and everybody being involved. And Yolanda came up with a game for us to play to help us get to know each other better. And some of us weren't really feeling the game. Like, huh? Man, we got to play that. And once we started this game, man, we had so much fun getting to know each other, sharing all this stuff and hearing stories about each other and trying to figure out which story that person was lying about. Man, it was the best idea, So I'm just saying, this wasn't me that gave this experience to you guys alone. It was a combination of what Londa and Vanessa did that really was the glue about making this retreat so successful, and why everybody's excited about the next one. What happened this weekend, I can't express my gratitude to these two ladies, because they called me and said, "Bro, what you need us to do? What we need to do? We got you." And it was, man, it was heartfelt. I just need them to know. They already know how I feel about them. They know I love them like blood. But y'all did y'all thing, and I really appreciate that, Lana and Vanessa. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. I'm glad to be a part of being there with you. But no, it wasn't as much work as you put it out there to be. It was just it was a group we did it together. Like, I think you did a lot. Like, you probably don't realize you were doing a lot, but I was throwing things at you and you were throwing them back to me. So we kind of all just worked to make things happen. It was great. Thank you.
Yeah, it was teamwork. But man, I don't know what I would have did without y'all. So just needed to say it again. Need to make sure you feel it. So,
And thank you, Londa and Vanessa. Charge it to my head and not my heart, because I was intending to say thank you too. I forgot all about that. But you guys were just absolutely awesome too. Thank you so much.
mm-hmm.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
I tell you, man, y'all, I love it. Thank you, everybody, for appreciate everybody for coming on and saying what you what you felt and experienced this weekend. Because I actually, and this is no exaggeration, I actually have a list of confirmed people for the next retreat. That the list is twice as long as what we had here at the first one. Already the list is already more than double the amount of people that attended the first one. So kudos to y'all, man. I appreciate everybody. If anybody else wanted to share, you can. If not, I was gonna ask Johnny B what he wanted to look at, go over, talk about. But anybody else wanted to say anything before we do that?
I know you're alluding to me, Delvin.
Yeah.
You keep saying anybody. Anybody else? You know me, I don't like to be in the front. I like to be in the back. But Yeah, being in person with you to actually, like everyone said, see it is a totally different experience than just seeing you on the screen during the Zoom. So it was a pleasure to, be there with you and to meet everyone and get to know different people, and have fun. And, it was a great learning experience. And like everyone's said, can't wait for the next one because I know it's going to be bigger and better.
It is. It's gonna be much better, man. But boy, just just having all y'all here under the roof, man. And sometimes you want to go to bed, but you want to keep talking, and you're tired, but everybody just sitting around still talking and talking and talking. And
Your sister went to bed every time.
my sister gonna go to bed first. You know that.
That part.
Well, yeah, it was such an experience. I just hope everybody is able to make the next one because I would love for everybody to get the same experience that you all had. Not only that, I want you to really get what me and Johnny B been trying to get you to understand. If being at a live event is what it took for some people to finally say, okay, I got it, I get it, then I would love for everybody, to make sure you can be at that next one. I know we had a conversation before the call started. Me and Melba was talking, and she was already talking about them. Devin, you got the information? I'm ready to start planning for the next one. So, that's what I'm talking about. Yep. But thank you, Vanessa, for everything.
You're welcome.
Johnny B, anything
Yeah,
you want to go over tonight, man?
Well, first I would like to say, I want to thank you, Delvin, for letting me play as much of a part in this thing and acknowledging my part. And I just hate that I wasn't able to make it. And like I talked to you, we had the National Veterans Wheelchair Games out there, so I could have gone out there and spent 2 weeks, and which was an event that I used to be in charge of, and which it's the largest wheelchair sporting event in the annual event in the world, and
Where was that taking place at, Johnny?
Tempe, right there in your backyard. So 500 veterans flew in, and with 2,500 volunteers, with 18 different sports. So yeah, it was a big deal, and it was an honor to be part of that for so long, and it's an honor to be part of this. So with that commitment, God willing, in the creek and a few other things, if we ever wanted this, if we can do it in Texas, near Waco or whatever, I would. I think it would be fun to go to a co-op and see where the corn comes in, where it's stored, where it's shipped from, how it's shipped. Maybe even let one of those guys talk about commodities and how they move those commodities around. We've one of the largest feed yard owners in the world. He's got a place just not 5 miles from me. We could go by and look at the ranch and see how they process cattle, from bringing them in to feeding them, to getting them ready to go to market. There's all kinds of things we could see, and I would love to be a part of it, like I said. But more importantly, the education component is so important for this. One of the things that I wanted to say, when we talked about Southwest Airlines and we talked about, all the commodities and the number of, when you think of Southwest Airlines or United or whatever, and how much fuel they buy in a year and how much money they have to even play this market. But what's really, in my opinion, one of the neatest things is that, and Delvin said this after we talked about it, I can participate the same way the big boys do with just one contract. Just one contract. Now, I can make percentage-wise the same money, but more importantly, I have to have the same tools up here as their guys got to be able to compete. And this is where we develop those tools. I keep telling Delvin, now that you see those charts and understand them, it's easy to make money after the fact. Now, putting your knowledge in and making money in the future is another part of it. That's where the paperwork comes in. That's where the paper trading. That's where getting ready to pull that first trigger. And today is Sunday night, right? In 10 more minutes, the market opens. So I don't know if you wanted to or not, what's the prep? What do you want to do 10 minutes before market? Does everybody have their sheet? What order? What would we even be? What's on our cheat sheet right now? What's on our? What are we looking at?
Well, let me start out by saying, Johnny B, I shared with everybody over the weekend. Everybody know I've been trading cotton. Everybody knows I'm short, in cotton, and it's been limit down, and trading in a strong downtrend. Well, Friday it closed limit up. They actually extended the limit, and it still closed limit up. So,
well, why don't we go take a look at it?
Let's take a look at it. Why you doing that? Sounds like, it looks like from the chat that everybody's loving your idea, Johnny, about the next event. So, looks like you might be
let me do this. Let me do this. I'm sitting here. Let's see if I learned it. Let's see if I learned anything again, right? So I'm going to share my screen. Can somebody tell me where we're going?
Bar charts.
Thank you. This is all right. We're going to go to futures. What commodity grouping are we going to go to?
Cotton. That's what he said.
Sauce.
Sauce.
Okay.
Cotton. What month? December, right?
December,
Yes.
that's right.
It says right here, closed at 88. What really upsets me is right on my numbers, right on the numbers. Let's see, if I would have put the call, or excuse me, the call at 90, we'd be in the money right now, wouldn't we, if we'd have bought options? Remember when we talked about options? Okay, anyway, sorry. All right, here's the chart. Did y'all go over this stuff about the in bar charts? What's cool? The number of commercial longs by 4,000 last week, and the number of shorts went down. That would have affected Friday's call. All right, producers were up on longs, on shorts they're down. Margin money, non-commercial, swap dealers, etc. So you can see huge shift in people going from short to long, or getting margin called out. Okay. So these figures down here are important. All right. So one thing that I know you talked about, or when you look at getting into a contract, how important is volume? How important is the number of contracts, open contracts? How important, open interest, how important is that?
Huge, very important, Johnny B. I want to make sure I can get in and out. I don't have a problem with liquidating my position when I do want to get out of the trade, or if I'm in a market where it's not a lot of contracts or a lot of volume being traded. I might be up 15,000, but if it's not a market that has a lot of open interest in it, I might not be able to get out of that trade when I want to get out of it. So it's very important.
So on the December, there's 105,000 contracts, quite a bit, and the volume was 15,227 on Friday. So that looks good. All right. This is a 1 year chart. Let's take it down to you want to. Where would you like to look at it?
Are we supposed to be able to see your charts?
Yeah, are you not seeing it?
Oh, if you want to
No.
go full screen,
I see you.
we can
Nope,
see
I
it, Johnny
don't see
B.
it.
You wasn't full screen though, with the full
All right.
chart.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You couldn't see it, George?
Okay, now I do. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
There we go. How's that? And this is a
Right.
month chart.
And we see that last candle from Friday. The very last candle on the chart is what happened on Friday. That represents Friday's trading. So
Try.
is it green or red?
I believe it's green all the way to the top.
Yeah, it's green. It was very, very strong. It closed the limit up kind of early in the session, and that was a wrap for the day. So the limit was $4, and they moved it up to $5, and it still went limit up.
Did you get stopped out?
I did not, but I'm very close with my stop being at 90.50. Where's the market trading at?
88.71.
Yeah, I'm real close, huh? But if I get stopped out at 90.50, I have no complaints about that. Yeah.
I like about Delvin on a big trade like this, where he makes a lot of money. Often, I don't say always, but the majority of the time he gets stopped out because he keeps riding until it reverses, but he's got enough profit in it that he does quite well. But he doesn't miss out on the bottom side, if I said that correctly. In other words, you know, he's going to ride it as far as he can ride it.
Yeah, I let the market take me out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I going to move our stop because it's close to me? As I said that I'm close to being stopped out, everybody. My stop loss is at 90.50. The market's been real volatile, right? So we can see if it continues to up, you know, trading up when it close limit up, you know, is it going to open trading up more? I could get stopped out here tonight. And maybe I won't, but am I going to move the stop loss to prevent me getting stopped out? Is that something that I'm going to do, or is it something that I should do? Anybody want to answer that? What you think, John?
I say leave your target, what you have. If you get stopped out, you get stopped out. Take your profits.
And be grateful with the fact that I have a very nice profit. But if I start moving my stop loss, am I sticking to the plan?
Nope, you're not sticking to your plan.
Yeah, I gotta trust the system, as I said to you all. You gotta trust the system that you're following. Stick to the plan, but most importantly, keep them emotions under control, right?
That's correct.
And cotton is trading. Are we live, Johnny B?
Now, this is on ice, so it doesn't go real time, but I was hoping they would go ahead and put up the bid and ask contracts. So soybean is notice these bids are already starting to come in from the brokers. Now let's see what at 135.60, and so it looks like it's bidding up, which it did. It just opened, and it opened up 10 cents, 10 and a quarter cents. Whoop. Then it just went back down.
Just that fast.
Well, it's down a penny. So now it's 10 and 3/4. See this right here where it says change?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is soybean. Wheat is up 11 and a quarter. And I don't know if you covered this, but I want you to look at this. So these are eighths. Okay. So a two is a quarter, 4 1/2, 6 is 3/4, and of course it goes up. All right, so soybeans is up. Where's corn? Come on, corn.
Matter of fact, Johnny B, speaking of what you just said, soybeans was up 10 and a quarter, or was it 10 and a half?
Yeah, it's at 9 now.
If soybeans is up 10 cents at Johnny B said, can somebody tell me how much 10 cent represents in soybeans? It's up how much?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
10 cent means it's up how much? Does anybody know? And if you don't know, does anybody know how to go figure that out? But how much is 10 cent in soybeans?
Oh, how much? I don't know. What's the starting price? Because I know, is it 50 like the other?
You said
50
50.
Is it 50% or no?
It is.
So that's $500, right?
Yes.
Right.
Every cent
But if you
equals
don't know,
$50.
you gotta go. I'm sorry.
Where you go if you don't know, Joyce? If you don't know how much 1 cent equals in soybean, where would you go find that out?
In the specifications.
That's right. That's right. I just wanted to see how much we were paying attention. Thank you, Londa and Joyce and Sean.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Johnny B.
Thank you.
I wanted to, I don't know if being the weekend, you weren't able to look at anything live, and each chart probably looks a little different, but this is ours, and this, mine, I've got, it changes every 10 seconds. So this is live. Is live. I could change it to 5 seconds, but this is pretty good. So you follow the commodity you want to follow, and you look at your chart, you figure out where you want your entry point is, and maybe where your exit is, and what your stop loss is, and then you watch the trade. What's interesting about the night trade, it's very active for a couple hours, and then it kind of goes to sleep. Not really, but I guess some of the traders do. And then at 7 in the morning or 6 in the morning, it almost reverses, and kind of, or it may go the other direction. That's a reverse, by the way. And then it cuts off at 7:30, or and then 8:30 in the morning it cranks back up. So it's off for an hour, right? And you're off for the day trade. So as Delvin probably explained, the actual trading day is from Sunday night at 7 o'clock until the following day at 1:15 Central Time, minus 1 hour when it closes in the morning. Correct, Delvin? For corn.
Correct. Yeah. Amazing that once it opened up on Sunday night, it's mostly trading most of the week. We have a little short period during the day when it closes for the day session, and then the evening session trade open back up. But it repeats that same hour, that same schedule all week until Friday afternoon. And if you don't know the trade now that Johnny B is talking about, and he's looking at a particular market, and then you decide you think based on what you see on the chart, and you making a trade, looking at making a trade in a particular one of these commodities, we go to the contract specification, like Joyce said, and we can see the trading hours. All the trading hours will be different for the different groupings, but just know everything we need to find is going to be under the contract specification. As you see, Johnny B is showing you the trading hours.
Forgotten. So
Right.
it was an hour after this, so that's why it's not open yet.
Mm-hmm. It closed limit up, right? So
Yes, sir.
we don't know how it's going to open tonight, but whatever happens, I'm okay with the outcome because I got my plan intact. If it trades limit, is it possible that I still may be in the trade and maybe not get stopped out at 90.50? Or even if it trades limit, I'm still gonna get stopped out at 90.50 because I got my stop in place. Anybody want to try to answer that one? Am I definitely gonna get stopped out at 90.50, even if it trades limit up? Or is it possible that I may not get stopped out, even though I got
Yeah.
my stop in place?
It's possible you may not get stopped out.
Right.
Possible that I might not get stopped out. The market's trading so fast, right? When it's trading limit,
Right.
it's possible. Because it's limit up right now, I don't know if it's gonna trade limit again, Sean. I have a stop in place, and I could pretty much count on getting stopped out if the market was trading, not as volatile, but the way it's trading right now, I don't know if I get stopped out if it trades limit up again or not. But it may not even trade limit when it opens. But if it did, there's a chance that I have to be prepared. That there's a chance that the market I may not get stopped out at 90.50.
Can I explain something real quick on that?
Yes, please.
All right, the cotton December closed at 88.71. So what's the limit? What's the limit move? $5, right? Or am I right?
Say that
What's your
again.
question, John?
What is limit up for cotton?
Oh, right there, for the settle, 88.71.
Yeah, let me get up. What is a limit move for cotton right now?
Oh,
Unless it's expanded. I don't know if it expanded or not. Help them out, Delvin. So
Okay.
a limit move
All right.
is dollars, right?
They're plus 5% up there.
No, I'm saying $5. Okay, so if the next bid or ask, right, is 83.71 or less, or excuse me, I'm sorry, if it's I said that backwards. If it is 93.71 or more, okay, the market will not open because there's no trade. Doesn't it have to go back at least a tick or something? Or so there has to be a trade, right, below the up 5 in order to activate. But if the next order is higher than $5 up, it would open up limit up again. And he would still be stuck. Well, until somebody buys his at what 90, would you say your stop is?
90.5, 90.50.
Okay. If it opens up 5 points and does not trade, then he's still in the trade. It has to physically trade below 90.5 in order for his trade to go through. Does that make sense to
would
everybody?
that also create? I think so. Would that create a gap?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Very good, George.
Okay.
Yeah, it would definitely create a gap. And it would also create a hole it would also create a slight hole in Delvin's pocketbook.
John DB shares a lot about when we talk about limit moves, about how great the limit moves are, as long as you're on the right side of it.
Yeah. There's, and I guess, I can't believe, I guess I'm getting close to 70 and I'm getting more conservative, but, to a degree, you got to go into this with your eyes wide open, and know the potential gain, but also know the potential loss. You know, and risk, you know, what you say, don't risk more than 10% of my portfolio. You know, I read something when I first got in going with Delvin. If you should be able to take $5,000 and turn it into, you know, into a real nice trading portfolio. You know, a nice one. I'm talking nice. You know, if you're smart and you follow the rules, you know, you ought to be able to do it. The question is, if you only did 10%, well, 10% of one would, and each time you would always have money left to get into another trade. And like Delvin's showing, you just need one really big one, like right now, that will really puff up your portfolio so you can trade more. Follow the rules, you know, pay attention to what's going on, and, you know, make sure you're covered with a stop loss.
So Delvin, question.
Okay.
With your stop loss being at 90.5 and you are going long, right?
Short.
Did you say
I'm short.
you're short?
I'm short.
So
I'm riding the market down.
okay. So have you also was part of your strategy to ride it the other way also?
No, my strategy was I wanted to get in the market when it broke below the number 2 and make a profit. And I also knew that, excuse me, George. I also knew that with the market breaking down, I mean, trading in the sideways channel before it broke out to the downside, I knew that I could at least expect it to trade that same distance down. Where it turned out that it actually traded even more than that distance, than the sideways channel that it was in before it broke out. So I had no thoughts about trading to the upside yet. I was just trying to take advantage of the downtrend that I knew was going to start if we broke below the number 2 point, and that's what happened.
Okay.
And when you said about my stop loss, and you know, I've been moving it and you know, locking in profits along the way when in this particular trade. But most importantly, though, Joy, in this particular trade, it was almost like picture perfect. I couldn't have picked a perfect entry. As soon as I got in this market, we're talking about the market limit up right now. As soon as I got in this market, it wasn't minutes later, it went limit down. And then the next day, it was limit down again. You see on the chart, all those long bars,
Uh-huh.
I got filled at 115. Okay.
Okay.
Right below the number 2. You see where Johnny cursor is? See that horizontal line?
I do.
I got filled at 115. And when I got in the market, it had several limit down days I got filled. I couldn't have picked a perfect time. I wish I could do that again and again and again, but that's what happened. I was it could have been the complete opposite, but as soon as I got in, I just got in right before all these limit moves happened. If I would have been a little longer, maybe 10, 20 minutes later before I got in that market, I would have missed all of those limit downs because I wouldn't have been able to get in it. Does that make sense? You
I'm
understand what I
trying to
said?
figure out why you would. I'm trying to why you would.
Okay, I didn't quite hear what you said. Say it again.
I said I was trying to figure out. You wouldn't have been able to get in. Why?
I'm missing the last part. You're trying to figure out why.
Yeah, you said you would not be. You would have been. If you would have got in, might be the other way though. You would have really lost money.
it may be my headset. Is anybody catching what Joyce is saying? Because it's going in and
It's,
out.
yeah, no, it's not your headset, Mr. Wright. Her internet connection is going in and out. I didn't understand a word she said the 3 times she tried either.
Right.
I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
Okay.
did you say? Would you
I
say you're
think,
trying to
I think
understand
she's
why?
saying, I think she's saying she's trying to understand why you couldn't get in after that mark, after it had gone down when you said you would have missed out.
Oh,
She's showing.
is that what you were asking, Joyce?
Yes.
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay. You want to answer that, John? You want me to?
I will real quick. Okay, so as I was trying to explain earlier about how being locked in and not be able to get out of the trade because it was limit up, if he hadn't got in that order when it went limit down, he wouldn't have been able to buy in because the market was locked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nobody, there were no buys. Okay.
Okay,
Great.
so
Thank you, John.
so let's just look at this for a second. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 top, which is so clear, right, folks?
Uh-huh.
And so when the market went down, right, he executed. All right. Now, if it would have not been a 1, 2, 3 top, and it went back up and or continue, if when he got in, when it broke the 2, he said, this is the time to go. And so if it hadn't have been, then the market would have gone back up. If it was still in a bull market, it would have created a new one and continued up, right? Now, here's something I want you to look at,
Okay.
right? So 1, 2, 3. If the 3 fails and makes a new 1, then we start all over again, right? But it didn't. It fell. It limit down, limit down, limit down. And then it started bouncing around down here. Now, guess what we have? I want you to look at a couple of things. Technically, right here at this point, what would we call this?
Retrace.
This level? What would we call that? If the market came
50% returns.
to 100, what would we call that?
Oh,
Resistance
huh?
or support? Resistance or support?
Support.
Right. Now, what happened when it got there? It did a little hiccup. It tried and tested support, and support failed. So it dropped. Okay. Now, see this right here? What would we call that? Support as well, correct? And then this would be final support. If it breaks this, the market's breaking down. It's okay. So here's the kick. Support held here. Okay. So technically $80 for cotton is a major support. It came down here and bang. Now it has bounced off of support. So would this suggest that it is possibly the low? And this is what Delvin's going to look at really, really, really hard for the next couple of days. So when this opens, if support holds, right, this one could be resistance, the new resistance, 100. So now we're looking at possible a trading range between 80 and 100. Oh, and it could go on a sideways trend. So what happens when we break we do a 50% retracement? When we do, then the market's going to change direction. And it can change one of 3 directions, right? Up, down, or sideways. Right. So he's going to look really, really hard. So if this so let's go back to my annotator again. So if this is the new one, we are now looking for a 2 and a 3. But we're going to wait for the, so Delvin, knowing Delvin, is going to either let himself get stopped out, or he's going to look for a 1, 2, 3 bottom, which may indicate he wants to change direction and go back the other direction. Did I say that correctly, Delvin?
I believe Johnny B got inside of my brain and got inside of my head. He seemed to know what I'm going to do so well. Yeah, great job, Johnny B, because that is exactly what is going on, and that's exactly what I'm thinking. But I love how you pointed out those support levels, because we talk about the different, the different support levels that form on the chart, and the market tests those support levels, and we want to see if it's going to fail or it's going to hold. And that's why we don't want to enter the market before we test the support. We want to go test the support, see the support fail, and then we want to have our limit order placed below, if we're trading it to the downside, below that support. That's how we want to enter the market. Now, Johnny showed you a major support level down at the very bottom when he had the horizontal line showing you that major support level. And if we were to test that support and trade through it, it's off to the races, Johnny B.
Yeah, that's because well, first of all, that's a 1-year low.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's terms that you're looking for. You're looking for, 200-week moving average. You're looking at, and they got all these other things, but two of the keys is 52-week low or 50-week high. So, yeah, this has been the only thing, the tough part about a retreat during the 16th was kind of another deadline we had doing something else, or I think they call it live, but so, I mean, my fun, I was on Zoom all day yesterday or day before yesterday, so.
I know it, man. I know it. Good thing about having a team. So you got teamwork.
Absolutely.
When you're not present. But you know what, Johnny B? In this particular trade, it was picture perfect. It was perfect timing. And the reason I was saying earlier about, if I get stopped out, I don't have any complaints. And I shouldn't have any complaints at all anyway, because of the fact that, we're gonna always have winning trades, and we're gonna have losing trades. But the way this trade right here played out, it was an experience for me as well. You guys seem to learn a lot watching the trade, but it was an experience for me as well, because in those limit down moves, consecutive limit down moves, I was making a lot of money. So I had to work on my emotions while I was in this trade, so I could stay focused on what was I going to do when the limit moves stop, because it's not going to keep trading limit down every day. So stay focused, Devin. These limit moves is amazing, but stay focused so you can have the right decision when the limit moves stop. So control your emotions. You hear it so much, because don't matter how long you've been trading, you still have to work on that to stay in control, to make the right decision. Because I had to pay attention to the fact how volatile this market was, and so where am I going to place my stop, because of how it's trading. So at first I was looking at the fact that the limit move was $4, so I wanted to make sure I was at least had my stop higher than the $4 move, because the limit was $4 at the time. They just expanded it to $5. So I was trying to keep at least over $4 stop loss. But I brought that up to ask a question. If I'm keeping my stop loss $4 away from where the market is trading, how much am I risking? How much is that dollar-wise that I got risked at that time? Can someone tell me?
Sorry about that.
If we don't know, where do we go find it at, Joyce?
Specials, but I'm thinking it's $200, is it not?
Okay, how much is every tick?
50, I think. Wait a minute, let me specification. Well, uh, I would find out in
Yeah, you
$5. Wait a minute.
you still breaking up. Still breaking up there, Joyce.
I don't know what is going on.
It's your internet. Do you have some bad weather going on outside?
No, but you know what? I think it's my location. I just heard my furnace come on and I'm sitting over that way. So that might be it.
You're
sound all
really
right,
clear.
but-
Wherever your location you are right now, you're really clear. The breaking up just stopped.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe it was just because I was moving around. But I think I just saw Genevieve do the cursor at the
Did I give you a hint?
yeah, 500 per pound. Yes, you did. Thank you. $5 per contract per pound. 1 cent.
Yeah, so every tick is $5. So if the market closed at I think Johnny Speed said it closed at 83.71. If or was it 88.70 something? I can't remember where it closed at.
88.71.
88.71. So if it moves up, okay, if it 88.71, Johnny B.
Correct.
Okay, so if it goes up to 88.72, Joyce, that's $5. 88.73, that's another $5. 88.74. So if it moves
That's
a
another
whole
$5.
dollar, if it moves a whole dollar, so it was at 88.71, right? If it goes up to 89.71, that's a whole dollar, and that's $500.
Okay.
Because we just said every tick was $5. It's 100 ticks
Yeah.
in a dollar.
In $1. Okay.
You follow me? 100,
Yeah.
100 times 5 would be $500. So if I got my stop loss $4 away from where the market is, now that you've got the point value, now that you know the money, how far is my stop loss if I got it $4 away from where the market is? How much is that risky? $4.
$100 because you had
Where's Rosa? Where's Rosa? 2,000. See,
Okay.
Rosa?
Who you want, Rosa?
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like she's making some coffee.
2,000, right?
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah, she's making some coffee right now, Johnny B. She's a little busy, a little tied up. But
No problem.
Johnny B was calling you. Can you come over here for a second? Okay, here she go, Johnny B. I'm here.
All right. So ask the question so she understands it. I said, if $4, if every time it moves, what'd you say, $1, it's $500. If it
Let me
moves
turn.
$4, it would be
Hold on, Johnny
those.
B. Let me turn my headset off so she can hear you.
Okay.
Only person she can't hear you because I got my headset on. Okay, Johnny B.
Okay, I said, if every dollar move is $500, then how much would you make if your stop loss was moved $4? It'd be 2,000, ¿verdad?
Do the question again.
¿De dónde eres?
Dominicana.
Dominica Public. Okay, outstanding. Olga,
Ah,
that's where Olga Tañón is from, see?
no. Olga Tañón es de Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Oh, no,
Alex Rodriguez is from Dominican
yes,
Republic. David
Very good.
Ortiz.
The Texas Ranger, no?
Uh-huh. And David Ortiz from Red Sox is Dominicano.
See, and just so you know that we've got Husan is living there too, as well as Yvonne from Canada. So I just asked where you were from. So you're from the Dominican Republic. Outstanding. So the question is so we're trying to figure out how much money he's going to lose if he gets stopped out, if he moves his stop.
But I was not watching the conversation.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't.
I
wasn't trying to call you out. I just wanted to say hello and find out where you're from. Mi esposa, o era mi esposa, was desde Puerto Rico también. Let it down.
Oh, de Puerto Rico. Vecina mía. My neighbor.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
So now we get to meet new people and share some more and get some more friendships. All right.
Exactly. Well, part of the group that was here yesterday, they want to come with me to Dominican Republic. Londa and Vanessa.
Yeah.
It's beautiful country, beautiful country.
Hey, Vanessa.
Count me in too.
All right. Anyway,
no, you ain't gonna leave me behind.
Oh, no way. Impossible. Huh. You are the first one in the airplane.
That's right. Well, let me explain so everybody will understand what I was talking about, just to make sure we get it. So in cotton, every tick equals $5. So the point value, every dollar is $500. So if the market closed at 88.71, $4 limit moving up the limit, $4 will be at 92.71. It closed at 88.71. If it moved $4, it will be at 92.71. That's now, if it was $500 for every dollar and it moved up $4, now, Joyce, can you tell me how much is that $4 move?
I think what you say if my mistake $20,000, right?
Still breaking up.
Oh man.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, anybody else got the
I
figure?
think it's
Anybody else got the figure? That's okay, Joyce.
Would it be 2,000?
It would be 2,000. Thank you, Barbara. Absolutely. It will be 2,000. $4. If every dollar is 500 and it's moving $4, that would be 4 times 500. $2,000.
okay.
So when I move my stop $4 away from where the market is trading, that's risking 2,000 on the trade. That's how far away I am from where the actual underlying price is trading at. So just understand, I was trying to stay at least $4 away from the market because I know it was making limit moves. So now they expanded the limit on Friday. It went limit up, but they moved it from $4 to $5. So how much is the limit move now, Barbara? It was $2,000 at when it was at $4. Now it's $5 for the limit. How much is the limit move now? You there, Barbara?
Oh, that's me. I'm sorry. Let me mute.
They added $1. They expanded it $1. So now instead of being $4, $5 is the limit. So if it made a limit move, how much is that in dollars?
$500.
Dollars 500, so it's an extra 500.
Right.
Meaning that, correct, meaning that the total would be how much? 2,500?
2,500 is the total.
So
It's
that's
so-
how much. Go ahead, Johnny.
So I want to ask you a question. Let's go to the rules, reinforce the rules. How much money have you made on this trade? What's
I was up.
10% of that?
How much money have I made at this point right now?
Yes, sir. And what's 10% of that?
10% of 15,000 would be 1,500.
Okay. If I
Whoa.
want to risk 10%, in other words, if your portfolio's gone up, he gets to make two different decisions. Do I want to take my 10% and go against the profit I've made in the trade, or still what the value of my portfolio is? If his portfolio, let's say, is now 100,000, right? Because everything, right? So if he wanted to raise his 10% in the formula, then he could go from there. Correct, Delvin?
Correct. Correct.
I hope that made sense.
Everybody
So
understand that?
Yeah, but so that means that he went against his 10%, right?
No.
Of that
I'm saying,
profit.
see, his net worth has gone up in his if he did his, hypothetically, if he did his deal first, it took $4,000 to get into the trade, 4,500, whatever, that he had to have in his account. He's only going to risk, but it's his account has gone up by $15,000. Now his 10% is a different number than what it was when he started. So he can either raise what his 10% is. Like he said, he wanted to keep it within 2,000 or 4 points, right? Guessing, that if 2,000, his account's now worth 20,000. So he's only going to risk $10,000, or I'm sorry, 2,000, right? I want to make sure I said that correctly. So if his account went up in value to 20,000, and he said, I'm only going to risk 10%, then I'm going to put my stop loss at 4 points up.
Okay.
Which is $2,000.
Yeah, I think I got that.
Now let me ask y'all one more question, just to make sure we really are all on the same page. If I had entered this trade with 2 contracts, if I came into this trade with 2 contracts, what would my profit be?
So if you came in with 2 contracts,
if I had entered this trade with two contracts, what would my profit be?
Double that.
Wouldn't it be double?
15.
Your profit is 15.
Yeah, it
it'll
would be, so it would be 30,000.
So every point would be how much?
So every point would be, instead of 500, it'd be 1,000.
The point value would be 1,000. And what would the tick size be? Hey guys, y'all got too many devices on.
Okay.
The tick size would be $10 instead of
It
5.
would be 10 instead of 5.
$10. Excellent. Every tick would be worth $10. So every point would be 1,000. That would be double. So if I had entered this trade at 115 with two contracts, I would have a profit of 30,000 right now. But I was going somewhere to say, could I be up 100,000 on this trade? Is that possible? Could I be up 100,000 right now?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
if
could.
you,
I could, Sean.
yeah, if you,
Yeah.
You could have
yeah, if
multiple
you had
contracts.
more,
Is it something like a pyramid, Mimi?
I
Yeah,
hope not.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pyramid.
I could be aggressive, guy, like I was in that trade y'all heard talk about.
Sugar, 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 sugar.
Sugar. Yeah, I could use what we call internal financing, where I take those profits that I was making, and when I earn $5,000, the margin is 49 something. I forget what it is, but I'm just rounding it up to 5,000 instead of 4,900. But every time I made 5,000, I had enough profit to pick up another contract. So then now if I started with two and now I got three contracts, every tick would be worth $15 and every point will be worth 1,500. So yeah, this trade would look totally different if I was trading it that way. And I do trade that way sometimes, but I'm just showing you how this is how it looks for me start with one contract. But if I was really being aggressive in this market, it would have had a totally different look. But that would be really taking a risk, because what happened when as soon as I got in the market, what happened? Anybody remember what happened as soon as my order got filled?
mark it down.
Yeah. So that could have totally been the other way, right?
Right.
So I started out
Question,
with one
Delvin.
contract. Uh-huh.
Could you have initially started out with more than one contract? You said two contracts. So that would have been, and I think it was hypothetical, but let's just say if you, I hate to use the word greedy, but let's just say very aggressive, and you had money to do 10 contracts at one time, is that possible?
Do you remember the movie we watched for homework, Joyce?
Yep, limit up.
You remember them? You remember them guys in the pit? They were trading hundreds of contracts
Yep,
at a time. Not
right.
hundreds of contracts
Okay,
at a
I
time.
just wanted to make sure if you got the money, you could do it. But like you said, you got more risk, right?
Yeah, but it's pros and it's cons. If you got that many contracts, do you need the market to move like it did for me for you to make a lot of money?
No, not necessarily.
You remember how they was leaving in that movie, how they was leaving, going home for the day, but on their way walking out the exchange, they was, you know, talking about how good the day was. They made six figures, 100,000, 200,000 a day. And then you look at the fact that, okay, well, when they showed the soybean closed only up 2.5, If it only closed up 2.5, how in the world would they make $200,000 that day? It only went up 2.5. How much we say every cent is for
Right.
soybean?
That means they had more contract. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so in a sense, when you trade, when you have the money to trade with that many contracts, you only need the market to move just a couple of cents.
Right. Okay, I got you.
You see that?
I just wanted to make sure I was on the right track. My money coming.
Yeah, the more contracts I got, I don't need the market to be making these limit moves. So yeah, it's really interesting how it works, Joyce.
I see.
Anybody got
Thank
any
you.
questions about what we talked about today? You all right, Melba? What about you, Jimmy?
No,
Tanisha,
I'm good. I'm good.
you good? This making sense to you?
Yes, lots of sense.
Yeah, great, great. I know you used to train pips, so this might take a second.
Trey, what?
When they
She
trade
used to
pips and
trade what?
forward, she was a
Okay,
she was
that's
a
all right.
former.
That's okay. Let me learn this first. Let me learn this
Yeah,
first.
she said, "Say what?"
That's
Oh,
right. Let me
hilarious,
learn
Joyce.
this first.
Hilarious. Okay, Joyce.
Yes,
Let's
yes,
stay
Miss
focused.
Joyce, learn this first, please.
Yes. Look,
Ah,
devil dragging me down.
oh man.
But
So
hey, I'm just gonna hold on. I'm
I
gonna
hope
just hold
everybody's
on, devil.
okay. Yeah, hold on, Joyce.
Keep
But I hope
going.
everybody's all right. I hope y'all understanding. Everybody's good. I see Jimmy said he okay. Um, we don't want to leave anybody behind. That's the main thing. That's why I may explain it another way. Then Johnny B will come in and put a different spin on it. We want to make sure that we do whatever it takes to help you understand. So make sure everybody's clear as we moving forward, so nobody gets left behind. Because we going at a pace where we can make sure everybody got it. And it takes a minute sometimes when we talk about trading the market to the downside. That's a concept that we're not used to. We always heard that we should buy low, sell high, and that's how we make money in the market. We buy something for $1, if we sell it for $2, we can make $1. But understanding and trying to wrap your mind around the fact that we can make money when the market going down, just like we can when the market going up, is a situation that sometimes it takes a minute for people to say, okay, I got it. And I don't know if everybody on here was watching on Zoom yesterday, listening to the retreat yesterday. But the example that I gave with the car, with the Yukon, in the past, I've always got good feedback with people saying, when you talked about the car, I used to use a BMW. But when you use a car example, it made sense. I got it now because I could understand how in the world you're gonna sell something before you bought it. I'm used to you buying it and then you sell it. Buy it low, sell it high. And you talking about you're gonna sell it first and then buy it second. That don't make sense to me. So it takes time sometimes for us to wrap our mind over, looking at it from the opposite direction. But the Yukon's example seemed to make sense to everybody in the room yesterday, especially, Sean. I heard her say, I just had an aha moment. I got it now. That really seemed like it brought it home for Sean. So I'm trading cotton to the downside, but sometimes when we go and showing the chart and talking about it, we looking at this from the downside. If this is your first time looking at, you know, trading futures, and you looking at us looking at a demonstration of a cotton trade that's trading the market to the downside, it may be, hard for you to, understand what we're talking about. So we're gonna try to go slow to make sure everybody understand. Okay, it looks like cotton trade down. Why is he talking about made $15,000 in cotton if the market's going down. But we can trade the market from both directions. Is that one of our rules that we, trade the markets from both, from both directions? You have more opportunities when you can look at the market from both sides. But that Yukon seemed to get it. Did that do it for you, Sean? Am I right?
Yes, it did. It did, because I was able to connect it with other things that I've done. Like it was relatable to, say, flipping a house or wholesaling a property. So it made perfect sense after you gave the demonstration.
Yes. Awesome. So, I just want to ask if we got any questions one more time, or if Johnny B, if you got anything else you want to go over, that's all I had. But if we got any questions from anybody, before we go for the night.
I would like to say is, I think y'all have had a great weekend. Now, I think it's so important to trade on paper and get get your understanding down, how to place your order, at what price, how to set your stop loss, because that order is going in immediately. In other words, hey, Delvin, I want to put an order to buy cotton at 88.71, and then I can't afford to lose a lot of money, so I want to go ahead and put I want to buy at 88.71, and I want to place an order to sell at 92.
92.
Okay, and so I've got my law. I'm going to put, excuse me, I'm sorry. I want to place my order to sell at. I said, what did I say? 80 at 88. I want to place an order to sell at 85. Okay. Why am I selling it more than where I bought it? I'm putting in my stop loss. So if I was wrong and it goes the opposite direction, then I want to be able to get out of that trade with a 10%, with no more than 10% loss.
Absolutely.
Right.
Correct. And I know, sometimes we want to get into a trade. And sometimes we have to look at our account and make sure we can afford to get into the trade. If we can only get in the trade and only have our stop loss, where if we lose $100 on the trade, then we want to be out of that trade, because that's all we can afford to risk on that trade. If you trade in a market like cotton, is that a good decision to go ahead and get in cotton, but you can only afford to lose $100? Is this a market that you should look at trading?
No.
Not at all. It's too volatile, right, Sean?
Right.
Yeah, it moves too fast and too much for you to get into a market that trades the way cotton does, if you can only afford to risk $100. So you have to be able.
There was one thing I wanted to say. This is kind of this is an easy one to see, but this is really kind of a unique situation where it's moving like this. Typically, the moves aren't anywhere close to this. Like we were talking about, let's just go back and look at corn and beans. All right. So soybeans was up 10, up 10. It's only up a penny now. Wheat's only up 2 cents. And corn is down 2 cents.
Soybean was up 10.5 or 10.25, something like that, not a few minutes ago, wasn't it?
Yep,
Now it's only up 1 cent.
yep.
How much did soybeans drop since the last time Johnny B gave us a price quote? Can somebody tell me how much did it drop? It was up 10.25. And now he's saying it's only up 1 cent. How much did it drop in a few minutes while we was talking about cotton?
$9.25.
What does that represent, Melba?
Too much
How much is it?
money.
How much is every cent in soybean? Every cent equals how much?
$50.
$50. If it dropped down 9 cents since we just
Wow.
looked at it, how much did it drop since we looked at it?
$450.
$450 that quick.
That was a swing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And move like that. So you could get stopped out, but you know, again, at least you can live another day.
That's right. Any questions before we go? All right. I want to thank everybody again for, traveling and coming out to the first travel and trade retreat. And I want to thank everybody for taking time out tonight to come on the call. And thank you all for all your participation tonight, because sometimes we need to hear from not just me and Johnny B. We need to hear from y'all too. That's how we know you understand what we're talking about. So appreciate y'all jumping on, and I want y'all to have a blessed week. And watch the room, watch the market. Because if I'm going on and I'm watching it, I might light the chat room up. And let's see if I get stopped out if I keep going on the cotton. Everybody have a good one.
You
Good night.
too.
Yep.
Good
You
night,
do the same.
everybody.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
All right.
Good night, Barbara.
Good night.
See you tomorrow.
All right, I'll see you.
Bye-bye.